I'm sure Manchester United are wise enough to know that there's a difference between striker and leftover striker. This guy, this Nicola Jackson from Chelsea, is not a striker. A third choice striker for Chelsea, Manchester United are considering bringing him to Old Trafford to become one of the main striker. Who does that? Who does that? Manchester United know that with the kind of the form they were last season, they can't replicate such a form this season because they will there are going to be a lot of angries. That is, and there's going to be a lot of outbreak from the fans. So as it is, what the Manchester United need, not a player like Nicola Jackson. Nicola Jackson is not a player that Manchester United should go for. So I don't know who advised them to even consider, and even think of bringing Nicola Jackson to to Manchester United. Why did Chelsea dump the guy? How many goals have the guy scored last season? Despite the fact that Chelsea qualified for Champions League and win the Conference League, even the whatever they call it, the Club World Cup that just finished that Chelsea won. How many goal contribution the guy has? End of the thing, is it not red card he earned collecting at the game between Chelsea and Flamingo? And even at the final, he was not even in the bench. So when you look at the whole situation in Manchester United, you just look at the foolishness of the high degree that Manchester United are exhibited. When you look at a club that like Manchester United, that you should go for quality play, despite the fact that they are now playing Champions League, they are players with good perform with good quality that always dream of playing for Manchester United. So Manchester United to go for players, not for all these leftover players, because Jackson is not a player that Manchester United should sign. We don't need him at Manchester United. He should just stay where it is. Chelsea should hold their problem or send it to somewhere else. We don't need Jackson in Manchester United. He's not a player, a third choice player for Chelsea, become a main striker for Manchester United. Who does that? Who does that? That is to show that we are. This is just a sign that Ruben Amorim does not even know what he's doing. If he brought this guy in, he doesn't even know what this guy is. Because when you want to buy a player, a struggling club want to buy a player, you buy a player that at least, even though he's average, at least you have seen what he has done last previously. So at least you think perhaps if you bring him to your club, he will replicate. Manchester United is not a training ground to train to breed all those leftover players for other clubs, because when you bring him there, end of the day, Chelsea will say they need 40-50 million pounds. End of the day, you bring him and you end up selling 10 million pounds. What have you done? And look at other players that exactly the same thing. So Manchester United should pull out of this deal between Chelsea concerning Nicola Jackson. We don't need him. He should just stay. Rather, they should look for more quality striker.